Kickoff to the 2025 SLS Championship Tour, where all of your favorite skateboarders will be bringing their best skating to the greatest destinations on Earth. Welcome to Stop 1 from Miami, Florida, famous for beautiful beaches, nightlife, art, and fashion. It's a hidden gem for skateboarding still, and comes with a deep history of spots and locals who have put Miami on the map. Today we're inside the Wasco Arena at the University of Miami, where 10 women and 20 men will skate the knockout rounds, hoping to make it into tonight's final on Rumble Premium. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. I'm Paul Zitzer, along with Sean Malto. Sean, we've had so much great skateboarding in SLS history, including capping it off last year, Heisa Leal getting that three-peat Super Crown Championship. But Sean, it's a brand new season. What are your hopes, expectations?
I mean, 2024 was insane. The progression was unreal, and we're here. We're on a clean slate. This is a brand new tour. We have an incredible world tour starting off today. For the first time ever, we have Street League in Miami. Such a good start, and it's a clean slate for everybody. I think it's a level playing field. You can build off last year, or you can forget about last year and start fresh.
New season, new schedule. This year's SLS Championship Tour is all about two paths: arena events and the new spot takeovers. Arena events bring that classic SLS format on a full course. Takeovers are all about big tricks on raw, street-inspired spots. Skaters will earn season points at both, and those standings will decide who makes it to the Super Crown at the end of the season. The top two that dominate all year will earn a straight shot into the Super Crown final. All roads lead to Sao Paulo. For more information on the 2025 SLS Championship Tour schedule, visit streetleague.com. Today, we are in Miami, and this is the schedule we're looking at. A lot to deal with here. Women's and men's knockout rounds coming up shortly. Finals tonight only on Rumble Premium. Use code SLS Miami. That women's final will begin at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, followed by the men's at 7 o'clock p.m. Fields today are pretty deep. We have two women's knockout rounds. Sean, here's who we're looking at to get things going in knockout round Group 1. We have two Japanese skaters, two Americans, and then the three-time Super Crown repeating champ, Heisa Leal from Brazil. Knockout round Group 2. Paige Hine will be first in. We have three Japanese skaters, including Olympic gold medalist Koko Yoshizawa, and then Chloe Cavell. She's no stranger to wins in Street League. We'll see if she can get it done again here today from Miami. And then immediately following women's knockout rounds, we go straight into the men's groups. 4 groups of 5 skaters tonight. Heavy hitters across the board.
Love Manny Santiago.
Yeah, he's a late entry. He's going to bring the hype. And then that group is going to finish off with Giovanni Viana. He's a Super Crown champ. A lot of winners in that lineup. Group number 2. Kelvin Hoffler, 2015 Super Crown champ, first in. Vincent Malou bringing the energy from France. And then Chris Joslin will round out the group. Moving on to Group 3. It's going to be a lot of skateboarding happening today. Felipe Mota, can we get Felipe into the finals tonight? We'll see. Felipe Gustavo, he got his first SLS win a couple of years ago. He'll be skating Group 3. Moving on to the 4th and final group. Come on, it's all about Nyjah Houston and kind of the local hero, if you will, Jamie Foy.
Two-time Sodi.
Two-time Sodi, man, and he has been cranking out the content. Group 1 for the women coming up. Sean, who do you like?
I'm such a big fan of Aoi Uemura's skating. I think her trick selection's amazing. She is obviously consistent, but what really sets her apart is her heart. She loves Street League. She really wants it. She's taken some of the gnarliest slams that we've ever seen and still got up and pushed through.
We can't talk about picks, though, without talking about Heisa Leal. She's done just about everything you could do in Street League so far. She's just going to try to keep it going. She's the 3-time defending champ. She tied Nyjah Houston's three-peat record last year. Can she make it 4 and break the record? Probably, but it all starts here today in Miami. Now let's talk about how Street League works with the basics. There are 2 sections to Street League, the line section and the single trick section. Each skater gets 2 45-second line attempts, followed by 5 single trick attempts anywhere on the course. A skater's top 4 scores count towards their final, and they can use 1 line score, but it's not required. So the thing about Haisa is not only has she won everything, but even when she's behind and there's pressure on her, she rises to the occasion just about every time, meaning she's basically impossible to beat. Before we get down into the competition, we're going to send it to the 3rd member of our crew, Andrew Cannon.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I like your picks. I think they're awesome, but we got to talk about somebody who was a late addition, a local Floridian skater, Poe Pinson. Now, what's so exciting about Poe is you've got a lot of, the same suspects out there, right? Poe comes in with a totally different mindset. She's got a really wild bag of tricks, but is also insanely creative. So just get ready, because whatever it is she brings to the course today is going to be wild.
Thank you, Andrew. We're getting ready to meet the skaters. And speaking of Poe, she is a Floridian, so that comes with probably some advantages and a little bit of extra pressure. Sean, you've skated in front of a hometown crowd. What's that like?
Yeah, it definitely adds a lot more pressure. But Poe is a seasoned vet. She's an Olympian. What I do like about Poe is she skates street a lot, and I felt like when you felt good in the streets, it translates to this contest.
Now it's time to meet the skaters from group number 1. Coming in first will be Mariah Duran out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. The veteran at age 28 by far.
Getting her back, my fellow front crooker, Funa Nakayama from Japan.
And of course, Tokyo's 2021 Olympic gold medalist, Momiji Nishia. She's won everything except an SLS stop so far.
And the GOAT from Jacksonville, Florida, Poe Pinson, age 20.
But the SLS GOAT from Brazil, Raíssa Leal. Still only 17 and such a veteran. So we are going to get straight into the skating. Knockout round group 1 of 2. The knockout rounds work like this. Top 3 skaters from each of the groups advance into the final for a 6-skater final. Pretty straightforward. Mariah Duran will be the first skater in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. We talk about her family all the time. She comes from such a supportive background. Both of her brothers skate and rip, and she skates with them, hits those Albuquerque ditches out in the streets a lot. First in, here we go. First trick of the 2025 SLS season. Into the Miami Triangle right there, backside 50.
Oh, signature hard flip.
Oh, front feeble down the big rail. Now, we're going to be talking about this course a lot today. It's modeled after some classic Miami spots. You've skated the real rail in the streets, yes, Sean?
I have, yeah. I've actually skated all the real spots here, the triangle, the blue hubba, MLK. I never skated the MLK gap, but I've
You're
been
at
there.
the spot, skating those ledges.
And the Cobra rail, the long, mellow round rail.
So Mariah getting some work done on her first of 2 runs. Straight out the gate, gap up, back 50 on the triangle.
Front feeble on the Cobra rail. A lot of the skaters I did talk to about the course, they liked it, but they did say it was a little hard to figure out runs. You know, it's kind of a lot of spot-based, kind of directional course. Mariah did a great job, though, starting out with a 4.3.
Funa Nakayama on deck from Japan. She had a great 2024 SLS season, making the finals a handful of times, getting 1 podium in Sydney. But another of these Japanese skaters who have been on the hunt for an SLS win for years and haven't quite gotten there, thanks to Haisa and Chloe standing in their way. Front feeble so far the popular trick on the Cobra.
That bump to ledge is not small.
That's a tall one, yeah. What's Funa gonna have to do to win today, besides make finals?
I mean, first and foremost,
Right.
get in the top 3. But if you follow Funa on Instagram, you can see the progression. And, you know, she has her stock tricks, front feebles, front crooks, and you know what to expect. But she's really introducing a lot of the heel flip tricks into, she can do heel flip back lips and heel flip front boards now. She just needs that one extra step to push her over.
Yeah. But then the question always is, does Haisa and Chloe already have that extra step locked down? And then so does everybody else need 2 extra steps? We'll see. So a 4.6 for Funa.
If history shows, you might need a few more extra steps.
It has been brutal for all of these competitors out here going up against Chloe and Haisa. Momiji Nishia coming in next. And I think, Sean, we're both big fans of Momiji's style, her trick selection, and she's gotten close. Example right there. She's gotten close many times, but I think the same thing applies. She's got to step it up this year.
Yeah, it's Momiji's always been right there. She's been very close to winning. And it's like, she's like 1 to 2 tricks away. But we've had 5 months in the off season to work on something.
Can you, okay, when you're adding a trick to an SLS run or just the best trick section, it's not going to be something basic. So 5 months sometimes can be not enough time to learn a trick that needs to, that's going to be at the level you need, and then to wire it in. 5 months. That's not that much time.
It's not a lot of time at all. And it depends on how long you were working on it beforehand. You know, but this is the test run. You know, this is the first of the season. I think it's to see, you know, where the tricks you've been working on, where they're at.
And if they come together.
Yeah, if they come together. Sometimes they do.
Yeah. And it can become your signature move, just like that. If you find that, hey, that trick's hard, but when it's crunch time, I can land it, that goes a long way. 6.2 for Momiji on her first run. Great score. That front salad is always so great to see.
Front side dress and grind.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, Sean, Poe Pinson is an Olympian. We always talk about street leagues, a lot of pressure, etc. But after you've been to the Olympics, that's a pretty big stage. If Poe can handle that, which she did, she can handle anything. Starting out on the MLK gap, dropping it down to the bank. Quick feet.
Quick feet. And that's just an approach. Some people do less tricks and focus on quality, and other people focus on trying to jam as many tricks as possible in. There's no right or wrong way.
I think in this scenario, it's fun to watch a skater who's packing them in, though, because, you know, the single trick section is a place where we can really focus on the tricks.
Yeah.
But the run, you want to see somebody mix it up. Poe going for the caveman backboard.
Have we got a caveman in Street League history?
I bet it's happened. None come to mind, though.
I would love to see one in the single trick section.
I think not that long ago, Shane O'Neill had a caveman down like a, I mean, not in Street League, but down like a 30-stair handrail. Blew my mind. It was pretty gnarly.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one. That rail in, I think it was in China. All right, Poe, 3.7, has a little bit of work to do.
Haisa Leal. See her working through her run in her mind. How much skating do you do in your brain versus, you know, out on the street or on the course?
I think a lot more of runs, actually a lot more of contest skating is mental and physical. All these people know how to do the tricks. It's just trusting and not hesitating. And
yeah, you got to find that sweet spot of being comfortable and in the groove and relaxed, but also maintaining that focus. Because have you ever been there? You get a little too comfortable, and all of a sudden you forget how important everything is, and then you step off something for no reason. It's a battle.
it is a battle.
Beautiful backside tail. So not a perfect run, but Haisa is so good, and her trick selection is so advanced. Her style's almost perfect.
I mean, this is Haisa running at about 20% of what she's capable of, and she's going to get into the top 3.
So once again, top 3 from each group.
Sorry, she's going to get into first place.
First place, no problem.
No
6.7, even with the fall.
Now it's a new season. Some things stay the same.
I feel like that could stay the same for the next decade very easily. So we'll see. There's always skaters coming up, but I got a long way to come up to catch Haisa. Mariah Duran in for her second of 2.
I've been skating with Mariah back home in LA a lot. And she's been working on new tricks. And like her mentality of what she's been through and all the contests that she's skated, has a lot of contest experience, and it shows.
Nice. Front feeble the Cobra. Tall 50-50. Time for one more if she hustles. She does not get it in. That kickflip is not going to count.
I know it doesn't technically count.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. It's better than bailing for sure. Nice gap up, back 50 on the triangle. Followed up. Front feeble. So, according to me, didn't count. According to Sean, counts a little bit.
I think it counts for confidence. I think she stayed on her board. She completed a full run.
For sure. Score of a 4.5. She's going to have to put down some single tricks to move into the top 3 to advance to tonight's final. Funa Nakayama in next. Currently in that top 3. But Would love a higher score on the line section. Bring it into best trick. Gap up, front 50 on the triangle.
Have you ever looked at Funo's board in person?
No.
Very, very loose trucks.
We've seen them in the slow-mos wobbling around. Yeah. I have a tough time seeing past that yellow shake jump, but going down on the front crook. Signature trick to end it.
And the blue hubba, I will say, is probably the closest to scale of like the real one. And so it's a little tall and kind of a little short. It's hard to get up and over and on top.
Focus. Trying to improve on a 4.6 from her first run. Does it, not by much, 4.7. She's going to stay in third place. And Momiji Nishia back on deck. Momiji only made one podium in 2024. She got a third place in San Diego. But if anybody could win with style points alone, it's Momiji.
One of the best styles in the game.
Nice.
That was sick.
So the triangle on this course is quite a bit different from the real one, more in the takeoff. It's basically a launch ramp to the triangle versus the one in the street is just a straight gap down to it, right?
Yeah, this one's more of a bump to bump, triangle to triangle. Yeah. That was a very solid run by Momiji.
So looking for a better score than the 6.2. You can take one of your line scores or none, but not both.
Just to pinch the front side salad grind. And then this lip slide. Again, too, when you lip slide a ledge like that, the dismount getting off the ledge makes it so much harder than like a round rail or a flat bar or anything like that. It's hard to gauge how the wheels are going to slide on the top.
Poe Pinson back in for her second run, trying to move out of the basement, get into the top three, move on to the finals tonight. Oh, the shuffle.
Caught the headphones, though.
Everybody who's listening to headphones should have to turn in their playlist to us so we know, get a sense of what's going on.
That's a good rule. Did you see that? Pop, shove, late shove.
There's a lot going on.
Had two cavemans in one run.
You can never have too many, I guess.
Look at this.
That is a heavy move. I mean, it's hard to get a lot of points on a little Euro gap, but that's going to do it. So she improves her score by 0.3. Current leader, Raíssa Leal from Brazil. she's never going to miss a final. It's almost a fact. But, I mean, you say that, and then things can go haywire, because it is skateboarding. But in terms of just sheer ability and her trick selection and her confidence, this is kind of just a warm-up to the finals for her. And you know, a lot of times it helps if you do really well.
And look at that is new for her. Nollie, no slide. I know she was going for the crook, but still, nollieing into tricks is something Heis is not known for. And I think that's when you have that little break to be able to focus and figure that out and make it consistent enough to throw in a contest run.
Oh, nope. Backtail shove it. With or without a higher score, Heis Leal in the driver's seat as we'll be moving into single tricks. .4. She'd have made the backtail shove it. Probably would have seen an increase. So women's knockout round, group number 1 here from Miami. Heis Leal in first place. Stick around for single tricks. Skateboarding is brought to you by Stake, America's favorite social casino and official partner of Street League Skateboarding. Sign up using the code SLS today. By G-Shock, the official timekeeper of Street League Skateboarding. By Lucy, next level nicotine pouches. By Monster Energy, unleash the beast. And by Kona Big Wave, bring the aloha.
Get your tickets at nitrocircus.com.
I was here with Monster Crow in Miami, Skating Street. I was here with Gio, Hafi, Fabi. It was so good, like girls skating together. And all the experience, like every try, every fall, every landed trick was like such good feeling. In Monster Tour, it's not like we don't have pressure to land a trick or to have clips. We're just here to have fun. 3 days ago, we went to Everglades to see like crocodile animals, and that was so fun. I'm gonna start to film my own video part to April. It's good to street skate. Yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. I'm really excited to start, yeah.
That's Haisa Leal. We talk about her a lot. Obviously, there's a really good reason for that. She's done just about everything you could do on a skateboard so far, and she's only 17 years old. Take a look back at Super Crown World Champions from the last few years. See Haisa's name 3 times, and then 2021 and 19, it was Pamela. Before that, Aori from Japan. Crazy. Here's the re-rack start list from knockout round group number 1. Women's prelims from Miami. Poe Pinson coming in first. And because Haisa is in first place, she will skate last in the single trick section. So an interesting note, Sean, is that win from Pamela Rosa in 2021 Super Crown, that was the last time anyone won other than Chloe or Haisa. That was the last person to win besides those two. They won every single thing since. Can somebody break the streak here this year? We'll see.
What's crazy is so many people have been close, too.
That would have been nice without the shove it out. 50-50 crossing down. But hey, this is Street League. You got to bump it up. You can't take it easy.
And when you're in 5th place, you got to push the envelope a little bit.
You're right. She needs to come up. But the pressure is mounting. Each skater gets 5 single trick attempts. 3 of them will have to count at least. 4 can count. Mariah Duran in for her first of 5. Gap up, back 5-0. Funa sitting in 3rd. What would the strategy be for Funa right now to make sure she hits the finals?
Land anything. I think right now, really opening the door for Momiji and Haisa.
Momiji in.
Switch board slide.
I feel like that's new for her. Is it? Maybe not. I don't remember seeing do that.
So, yes, I've rarely seen her switch board slide, but she did have a video part where she did a switch 270 front board.
That's heavy.
So you know the switch pop is there.
5.4. Moves Momiji into the lead.
I really think that was a product, too, of just 3 bails right in front. So I think Momiji's smart. Just get a couple mid-range tricks on the board, and she'll probably be fine to be in the top 3.
Same with Haisa. Needs a 5.3 to take the lead back. Like nothing. You can't tell how hard the tricks are that she's doing because she does them so casually. I mean, we talk about this. Sometimes I think it's possible that the casual look can hurt your scores, but of course our judges know what they're looking at, so they realize how difficult everything is. They're not going to dock her because she made it look easy, but she really does.
Yeah, just because it looks easy doesn't mean it's easy. 7.6, I think that's a great score, especially she kind of got a lot of truck going into that nose blunt slide, so it wasn't as clean as maybe she would want, but still got the good score.
Poe Pinson back in. Attempt number 2. There we go. Okay, how about that? Like, let's talk kickflip out of a grind versus late shove out of a grind.
You see more kickflips out than late shove-its.
For sure.
And especially around rail to late shove.
What do you got to do with your feet to make that happen?
It's more so getting the good pop off your tail. Look at this. Clicked. Great. Got up enough to have time to late shove out. I've never really seen that in a contest ever. I think this is where Andrew was talking about that creativity.
7.
But 7. Again, not the scariest trick to try, but hard to actually do it.
A lot can go wrong. You can shove it, 170. You can shove it 200.
You can land primo.
Yeah. All right, Mariah Duran back in. Trying to get a 6.6 to move up into third, where Poe Pinson is currently sitting. Top 3 advance to the final tonight. Funa Nakayama, look at that consistency. 48%. We've seen higher, but roughly 50-50 with 4 tries to go. That's not good enough. She needs to increase that consistency right now to advance to tonight's final.
The way the triangle is angled, how the top is slanted and the way you have to go about it, it makes that edge super sharp. And it's just the room for error. If you're not perfectly in that pinch groove, it's going to stick, which you just saw right there.
Momiji coming off a 5.4. Wow.
Shout out Aaron Susky.
What's the difference between a Susky and a Salad? Not in terms of what they are. They're so similar, but in terms of what you got to do to make them happen. Anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same thing. It's just where you pop on the rail or ledge or wherever. But I think Suskys are a lot harder. It's a lot harder to aim. I think a lot of people are going to be watching this, including the men's round, 5.3, because this course is set up a little different. There's not a real standout big section unless you want to huck off the MLK gap. But I wonder how that bump to triangle is going to score versus the Cobra rail or the Blue Hubba.
Well, that MLK gap, when it comes down to it, if somebody's doing their tricks down that could be those could be the biggest scores of the day. But let's get back to Haisa real quick. No problem.
No.
Kickflip front board.
No problem. And
For
just
her.
the way to get up and over and then flick to a long, mellow rail, it's just so scary. But Haisa's probably the most confident skater
For sure.
in the world right now.
And rightfully so. 7.6. Great scores across the board. She stays in first. Download TrueSkate on your mobile and enter the live SLS Miami event. Complete all the missions in the event to unlock a virtual replica of Miami's championship course. Play now to skate the same course as the SLS pros. It's TrueSkate. So 3 tries still to go. Wait, was that pressure or inward?
That was pressure.
Okay. What's harder?
I have no idea. I think probably inward heel. I mean, pressure flips, that's your era.
Yeah, no, I think a pressure flip might be a little more unpredictable, but then you see somebody like, oh, Mariah going for the mega kickflip. You see somebody like Andy Anderson who figured out pressure flips. He's got it down to a science. I mean, part of his board shape is built for a pressure flip, so that might help, but yeah, pressure flips are weird. There's a lot that can just go wrong because it's a friction pop. It's not a clean pop. So the ground can change everything. If you're on icy ground, it's a lot easier trick.
Yeah, like tennis court ground is almost impossible.
Yeah. All right, Funa Nakayama back in. There we go. Gap front crook on the triangle. Took her 3 tries to get there.
Like, what's going to score higher? Gap to front crook triangle or front crook the Cobra rail?
It seems because like there's so much more going on with the triangle that it should get a little more points, but
I agree with that too.
maybe the you know, Cobra rail might be a little more dangerous, but a little more consistent. That's my guess. 6.8, great score for Funa. She moves back into third, bumping Poe out of that top three. Top three advance to the finals. The other two go home. Momiji Nishia. Nice back tail.
I think there's something so respectable about a tall, mellow back tail. It's not the easiest trick in the world to get onto a taller spot. She did that so well. Also coming back out to regular, very respectable.
.1, Momiji Nishia takes the lead. But Haisa does not need much to take it back. Front blunt shove.
Should be good enough for a 1.5, I would think. Yeah, front blunt, shove out at the end. Anytime the board leaves your feet at the end of the spot, it makes it exponentially harder.
Yeah, you don't have any time. There's just, you have a fraction of a second, and it's got to go perfectly right. You're not gonna.
And it's not like front blunt is the easiest trick in the world anyway. So like, you're making sure you get in the right front blunt first and foremost, and then you have to time out a 90-degree shove.
All right, Poe trying to get back into the top three with the pressure. Not happening.
I'm going to say it. I skated the course during practice. Not the best pressure flip ground.
You're a little rough?
Little grippy? Little grippy. Mm-hmm. That new concrete is always a touch grippy.
Yeah. Mariah Duran needs a 7.1. Oh, that was a clean kickflip. Where does that score these days?
I think kickflip, the set, should get a really good score. I mean, it's a risky trick.
It's a long 10 stair.
And when you flip it, catch it, and then, you know, you could do everything right and still wheel bite. But she was able to land so square and roll away.
Trying to get a 7.1. She gets a 6.4. Hopefully that'll be enough to set her up for a shot of the top three on her final try. Funa Nakayama in third. Trying to hang on to that spot. Needs to make a couple more tricks to guarantee it and lock it in. Taking it pretty easy right there, but smart strategy.
See that front truck wobbling, but that was very smart from Funa. Just get something on the board and then put all the pressure on Pinson and Duran.
Momiji looking really good to advance already. She's got 4 scores. They're all solid. Trying to drop the hammer there. In some ways, right, you're going to use these attempts as a warm-up, as a test for the finals. Because you can do a trick all day long, and then when it's showtime, you find out things you didn't know real quick. And you're like, man, now, okay. So it's good to try it during showtime, right?
Absolutely.
Ooh. Kickflip back lip attempt from Haisa.
She got out of that pretty clean for how sketchy that could have been. It's also, too, I get the rehearsals. I love to be well prepared skating a contest, but Haisa definitely doesn't need to do that.
No, she doesn't.
She is locked in for the finals.
Yeah. The qualifiers maybe are just a nuisance
Yeah.
to her. All right, one more re-rack, last trick attempt. In the women's knockout round, group number 1, Mariah Duran and Poe Pinson. The 2 Americans trying to crack into the top 3. Currently held down by Japan and Brazil. Haisa Leal once again in the lead. She'll have final say in this first round. The last time Mariah Duran was in an SLS final was Lake Havasu 2021. Trying to get there with a 5.1 right now. Doesn't do it.
It's always sick to see Mariah skate. She's one of the best.
Legend. Poe Pinson, she had a great SLS season in 2022. And we haven't seen much of her since here. Great to have her back. See if she can get to the finals with a 5.
Oh.
One more try and she'd have it.
She's trying to prove me wrong. That was good. That was almost it.
So our top 3 is set from group 1. Funa, Momiji, and Haisa heading to tonight's final. These are warm-ups. Ooh, stepping back on the board. No thanks. Don't forget, tonight's finals are on Rumble Premium. Use code SLS Miami to watch tonight. Be there. So we're getting a taste of what we might see in the finals.
It's funny, I asked her about the crook nollie heel on the blue hubba when we first got to the park yesterday for practice, and she said no.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I want to do it on the long one instead.
Huh.
But it seems like she's figured it out. It's there.
All right, final single trick in women's group 1, Haisa Leal. Here we go. Kickflip back lip. This one got a little closer. That's going to wrap up women's knockout round group 1, SLS Miami. Haisa Leal, Momiji Nishia, and Funa Nakayama advancing through to the finals tonight on Rumble Premium. Here are your results from Group 1. Haisa, Momiji, Funa, congratulations. Poe Pinson and Mariah Duran, unfortunately not moving on. We'll look forward to seeing them at some of the next stops this year on the SLS Championship Tour. Skaters warming up now for group number 2 of 2. As we work our way to tonight's final. Group 2 skaters are going to fill those last 3 spots you see on your screen. The first 3 going out to the top skaters in group number 1, Haisalea, Momiji Nishia, and Funa Nakayama getting it done once again. So no surprises so far here from Miami. Here's the start list for group 2 that we're going to see after the break. Paige Hine will be coming in first. And then 4-time SLS winner Chloe Cavell from Australia will be rounding out that group. Sean's pick from earlier, Aoi, going to work on this course. We'll see how his predictions hold up. So Chloe Cavell warming up in Miami. Stick around, we'll be back with women's knockout round number 2.
Live from Las Vegas, UFC Fight Pass Invitational.
What UFC did is just unbelievable. They brought us the best grapplers in the world.
There's a tap, it is done.
I cannot believe what we just witnessed. That is locked in and he gets the tap.
How good was that?
Insane.
It's a lion's den full of killers.
UFC Fight Pass, step into our world.
Skate é sinônimo de superação, seja na vida, no half ou no corrimão. Tudo que um skatista quer é um obstáculo para enfrentar. E ele não vai parar até acertar. Não importa idade, cor ou gênero, o brasileiro abraçou o skate pra valer. E também conta com o apoio do BB, o banco que entende os obstáculos de todo brasileiro. E juntos vamos inspirar todo mundo a buscar tudo que imaginar.
Banco do Brasil, para tudo que você imaginar. Governo Federal, União e Reconstrução.
Welcome back to SLS Miami, presented by Steak. What a city, famous for its Art Deco architecture, sunshine and palm trees, and great skate spots, and so many have been replicated on today's course. The Triangle, by far, hands down, the most famous spot in all of Florida. We're getting set for women's group number 2 in the knockout rounds here from Miami. Paige Hine from the USA will be coming in first, and then we have the 3 Japanese skaters. Sean's pick, Aoi Uemura, coming in second, and then Chloe Cavell will be rounding out that group. And then we're going to be seeing the men's skate after this in the knockout rounds. And I think one of them is down with the 3rd member of our crew, Andrew Cannon. Who do you got, Andrew?
I'm down here with none other than Braden Hoban. Braden, we got a new season ahead of us. We've got our arena stops. We're kicking it off, but then we're going to be out there doing the spot stops. Are you ready for this? You ready for Santa Monica?
I don't know, man. We'll have to see.
You said you're going to go out there and huck and hope with Jocelyn, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to you know, maybe like a kickflip or something, and while Jocelyn's doing like nollie 360 heel. We'll see.
Come on, give yourself some credit. Now let's talk about the course here, because it is our first arena stop of the season, and this thing is amazing looking. What are you liking out there on the course?
This thing is awesome. I really like how they implemented classic Miami spots to the course. That's always fun. You know, their take on, you know, you got the Cobra rail, you got the blue hubba, the triangle, and then the big gap. I think it's really fun, and like you can flow. You can find weird things to skate, so I think it's great.
How many of those influenced spots have you gotten to skate out in the streets?
I've only skated 2 of them in the real world.
Which ones?
The Cobra rail and then the blue hubba.
All right, so you got 50%.
50, yeah, 50%. I don't even know if the pyramid's skatable anymore. I think they like put turf in the run-up or something.
Well, you can skate it here today for everybody at home. Well, we're going to just wish you the best of luck out there in the competition. Stick around, everyone. We're going to have men's coming up in just a little bit. But first, we've got our second knockout round here in the women's. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Andrew. Let's take a look at the streaming schedule for today. It's the women's knockout rounds happening right now in progress, followed by the men's coming up. And then use code SLS Miami for the finals tonight on Rumble Premium. That'll be at 5:30 p.m. for the women's and the men's at 7 o'clock. And to confirm, correct, the triangle is no longer skatable, unfortunately. They knobbed it off. They did everything bad to it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Were you the first person to kickflip into the triangle?
Thanks for asking. Yes, that's actually a fact.
You were the first one.
Yeah, but
what year was that?
That was 1996. Dan Wolf was in town. We were filming for, he was filming for Cinematographer, a Transworld video, and we were in Miami, as we do from Tampa, and it was good times. So yeah, okay, good times. Shout out to Alyssa Steamer, though, for opening that spot up. But first, let's talk about the betting odds. Sean, you are a little bit of a gambler. What do we got here?
Well, Vegas is betting on Sora Shirai. 450 to win the event, followed by Nyjah Houston, Daiki Ikeda. Yeah, I mean, I think this is an insane bet. I mean, Nyjah's a defending champ, and they still have Sora to beat Nyjah, so plus 450, those are good odds.
That is really interesting, but you could make the argument that last year Sora won 2 of the regular stops. Nyjah's just a Super Crown winner now.
You're going to bet against Nyjah?
Never. Now it's time to meet the skaters in group number 2. Paige Hine from Arizona will be first in, bringing that switch game to this Miami course.
Following Paige is my pick, Aoi Uemura from Japan, young legend.
Also from Japan, Koko Yoshizawa, 15 years old only, Olympic gold medalist from Paris.
Also from Japan, Yamika Oda, one of the best kickflips in the game.
And from Australia, Chloe Cavell. She has won 4 of the 10 SLS stops she's ever skated in her life. Can she make it 5 today? We'll find out. Highly possible.
Where's Tweedhead?
Where's what?
Tweedhead, Australia. That's her hometown.
Oh, I don't know. Never even heard of it till just now. Sean, you skated the triangle. What'd you do?
I have ollied into it. That was it. The thing has always scared me. That's why I'm impressed. You kickflipped into it back in the 1900s.
It was terrifying, I gotta admit, but I was skating a lot of street at the time. I talked to my friend Matt Cantor, Miami OG, and he was telling stories. He and Andre Lozana and Tim Van Wern were the first people to ever ollie into it. And then Alyssa Steamer showed up with Jamie Thomas, and they captured it for the Toy Machine video. So, legendary spot. Paige Hine is in. So far, putting down a clean one. She's got to keep it going.
Ooh. That rail is more like a flat bar, which I always thought was one of the scariest spots to skate, an out flat bar.
Yeah, Paige qualified into SLS back in 2023 at the Select Series in Sydney, Australia. Been going strong ever since. Although in 2024, she didn't make a final. So we're trying to get her back into the finals. What we've seen, there's like a wall up. It's the Japanese skaters, and it's Chloe and Haisa. So far, very few people have been able to crack through. Sean's pick, Aoi Uemura from Japan. She's not afraid to throw down.
No, she will go for broke pretty much every event. I think one thing for this course is pop. If you have pop, you can get around it easily. If you don't, it's a lot tougher. It's because it's hard to gain a lot of speed, and some of these spots are a little tall, and when you're going slow, it takes a lot of effort.
In 100 words or less, how do you define pop?
It's bounce, really. It's how high you can jump and how easy it is for you to jump, you know?
Yeah. Some people have bionic pop. Others have like a soggy pop.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how tall. It doesn't matter. It's just the kind of mechanics. Because you can see Haisa has probably the most pop out of anybody here, and she's definitely not the biggest.
You're right. 5.6 for Aoi.
Yeah, but Aoi's very strong skater, very solid.
Koko Yoshizawa, kind of a surprise Olympic gold medalist, out of nowhere, flinging that big flip front board. Pretty new to SLS. Although she did get second place at the Super Crown in 2024.
It was a very, very close second place, too. Long backsmith across the flat bar.
She's got the tricks. Time for one more. Oh, a little Muska.
Little backside no slide.
Solid run for Koko.
It's a solid run. It's kind of one of those that started off kind of heavy. Was backsmith just dipping it. The longer you hold a trick, the harder it is, but ending it with a back nose down the hubba is a little anticlimactic.
Good enough for first for now for Koko. Yumika on deck. They just showed this stance breakdown in that bottom right-hand corner. I think it said 1% switch tricks. So
wow, that was a great nollie flip.
She had a great 2024 also. I was making all the finals except one.
Almost bumped that switch average to 2%.
Trick of the day, front feeble down the Cobra. That's time for Yumika Oda. Run 1. Where's she going to land on that one? Any predictions?
You know, it's definitely fell on the switch flip. Kind of threw off a little bit of the groove of the run, but she got back in it, stayed with it. I think she's going to be good enough to get into that second spot. I don't know if she's going to go into first.
Right you are. Second place, 5.8. Coco staying in first place with the 6.2. And Chloe Cavell. Chloe has been so good, so consistent. She's always learning, adding to her runs. It's fun just to watch, see what she's going to bring to this year. How does that trick compare to like a grind to flip out, you know?
Definitely a lot easier than flipping out, but the variety is nice. And this is a run. This isn't single trick, so I think just adding a little spice here and there goes a long way.
Tall back tail, fighting it, but staying on. Banging heel flip to end it.
And this is where we're talking about that off-season break. Work on different things. I think last year she kick flips that just to land it. But this year, kind of throwing a heel flip, showing variety.
She really did bring a lot of different tricks to that run. Really nice use of the course.
That was a good heel flip, too. Heel flips are very easy to do bad.
Yeah, they're just, your technique, they don't allow for such a clean technique as a kick flip, right?
Yeah, you're missing a lot of the rubber on the sole, kind of going off the heel flip, but she dipped it perfect, good. 8.0 is a solid start.
That's huge.
To the season.
Paige Hine back in from Chandler, Arizona. We always talk about Paige's switch tricks. That's what took her off on her first run. Can she get it here? Switch front board, no, again. That trick is notorious for you just shooting off the toe side.
Yeah, and that's honestly just being a little scared. Switch front boards, you really gotta like get a good snap and put your back into it. And when I always found when I was scared, I would just push it out and try to get away from it as quick as possible. And it was just a little bit of a hesitation from Paige.
And it's also when you fully commit, it's a trick that you can get stuck on and go flying, go flying towards the heels.
Absolutely, it is dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. Aoi back in for her second of 2 in the line section. Clean back lip.
Oh, Bennett.
That would have been a tasteful and great looking trick. Bennett back, was she trying to go back to forward also?
I think so.
That's rare.
I mean, but look at Aoi. Elbow pad on her left arm, wrist guard on her right arm. Just still out here ripping.
Zowie currently in 4th, trying to move up. 5.9 puts her in 3rd. She doesn't get it done. She's going to look to single tricks as we move on to Coco Yoshizawa. Coco, 100% regular stance, no switch tricks. Those can come later.
Yeah, I mean, if you got it like that.
Nice 360 flip.
So more like vertical tray flip.
Properly dipped back Smith. She's got a narrow stance.
5 seconds left.
Who does this course favor in your opinion? Chloe, Haisa, or anyone else? Or is it up for grabs? Anything you see out there that's helping, hurting?
I think it's up for grabs. You know, it's hard to say any course doesn't suit Chloe or Haisa.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is tough because Coco is known to skate kind of the bigger rail. Kind of same with Yamika as well, and there's not a real big rail option. I do think this course gives Chloe a little freedom to get creative with the 50-50 flip outs, the crook flip outs, things that she is really good at.
Front feeble to finish. Yumika trying to bump that 5.8 up on her second run as we move into single tricks.
Yeah, doing exactly what she needed to do. Just putting something down, trying to get a little more space, a little more comfort into that top 3.
She does it 6.0, 0.2 of a point higher than her first run.
0.2 matters in Street League.
And there's big money up for grabs and Super Crown points at every stop. Every move matters. Back Smith, Chloe keeping it going. The consistency is outrageous. There's not even a question. There, she cleaned that up from her first run, back tail. Oh, a little nollie flip at the end. Great skating in the line section from Chloe Cavell. It's looking like we're setting ourselves up for another showdown tonight in the finals, that's for sure.
And I don't think she crooked the whole thing in the first run. She just did the second half. So this should be an definitely increase in her score. That's a lot of smart contest skaters do that. It's like you get a run down, you get your score, and then you upgrade it just a little bit, and you just force the judges to give you a little bit better of a score.
There you go,
Yeah.
110.
110.
But like you said, I mean, that matters.
Yeah.
That could be the difference. She's not going to have any problems making it into the finals if she makes 3 tricks. But you never know. I mean, we have seen times also where nobody makes 3 tricks. So it can all count. So no surprises so far from Miami. Women's knockout round number 2 as we go into single trick attempts. Chloe Cavell from Australia on top. Stick around.
Kona Big Wave, Liquid Allure.
What's up, legends? R. Willie here. We are bringing the Nitro Circus Live show to Brazil for the very first time. You heard it right. We are coming to Brazil. We'll be in Rio de Janeiro June 13th, Sao Paulo June 15th, Belo Horizonte June 20th, and Brasilia June 22nd. Get your tickets now. This show is going to blow your mind.
That was the look back presented by 10X Health. There is the reigning Super Crown champion ×3, Raíssa Leal from Brazil. Breezed her way through into the finals from knockout round group number 1. We're in round 2 at the moment. Here's the re-rack start order with Paige Hine coming in first, and Chloe Cavell, the current leader, will get last go in the single trick section. Here we go. So first trick of 5 in the single tricks. Paige Hine trying to claw her way out of the basement. Nice.
That was very clean. You could see how different that was on the Cobra rail versus kind of that out rail she tried in her run. got very squarely on top of that.
That was perfectly done. Should be a good score. Switch front board, down the Cobra.
Well, Michi got a great score for switch backboard, and switch frontboard's definitely a lot harder. So 6.8, great score.
Paige trying to be the only American to make it into tonight's women's final. The 2 Americans from the first round got bumped out. She's the last hope. Aoi Uemura in for her first of 5 attempts. Beck Smith.
Yeah, Beck Smith's definitely just a safety trick for someone like Aoi. She did it perfect. But that's usually a trick we'd see in her runs. I think she's just trying to get some scores on the board, just a little bit of cushion.
Solid score, nevertheless, 6.0. Yumika coming in next. Okay, 6.0 or 5.9, depending on the squiggly landing. Should be a 6.
Let's look here. Yeah, that's a 6.0.
We do see a lot of strategy, a lot of playing the. Oh, that was a 5.9. We do see a lot of playing the numbers games. Like, okay, I can do that trick too. That's the score I need to set myself up for the next try. So just rip that trick out, get the points, move on. Coco. There we go, stepping it up. Big spin front board.
I think that's what Coco has done so well in the contest is, yes, we do see a lot of backsmith and front feebles, but Coco kind of went a different route and got her own set of tricks. And that's why it scores so well. Big spin front board, I mean, definitely a lot harder than a backsmith. But for her, this is her go-to move.
Huge score, 7.9. Coco in the lead. And just like that, Paige Hine back down in 4th place. And Chloe had great line scores. She just needs to keep it going here in the single tricks. Back tail.
Whoa. You could see the height of this back tail and how she locks in her front foot. Definitely, it's a little late to the party. Yeah, watch this lift. Little air foot getting in there, but that's just from the height. Still perfect.
.2. Not a huge score for the back tail, but good enough for the lead. Wolfpak.com delivers high-performance, customizable bags and backpacks designed for skaters and fans alike, all united by their passion for skateboarding. Elevate your game and gear up with Wolfpak, where style meets functionality. Join the movement at Wolfpak.com.
Did you get a Wolfpak backpack?
Not yet. I'm gonna.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I grabbed one. They're nice.
Dude. I'm gonna have to go grab. Paige Hine coming in. Needs a 2.1 to get up to 3rd. Going for the switch front 50-50. What's gnarlier? Switch front board, switch front 50?
Switch front 50, hands down, especially on a round rail like that. It's a lot can go wrong. The risk factor is huge. Again, I'm talking about pop, but that switch front 50 pop is a lot higher than the front board. Aoi's just stacking. Smart contest skating, front blunt.
It's a big move. 10 stair front blunt down the Cobra. Cobra is good for a 6.4. Aoi up on top, 18 overall score. Back to Yumika, needs a 2.3. Kickflip front board. And once again, the top 3 skaters from each of the 2 knockout rounds advance. So, Aoi, Chloe, and Coco.
Look at this. Flipped, got very squirrely. That back foot, toe was barely hanging on, but able to push through.
$7.6. Yumika takes the lead. Okay. 7.6. Coco. So we see the Cobra rail is the hot spot right now.
It's definitely the most stock, easiest probably spot to skate here. It's long, it's a little long, but it's mellow and it's not that tall. Kickflip front board done perfectly.
$7.6.
This is interesting because Chloe is skating well. But she's having to work a little bit.
You're right. Well, people are catching up. There's a deeper pool of talent. A 3.8 puts her in third. What? Such a proper flick out of the crook.
So proper. And
what do you got to do with your feet to make that trick work? What's going on?
First off, you got to get the perfect lock, which she did. She pinched it. And then there's just a very finicky angle of where to flick. Very easy to miss the flick on a nollie flip out of a ledge. And it's crazy that she was able to perfect that and get so consistent at something that generally should be very inconsistent.
7.7.
I think that's a little low. That's my first questionable scoring of the contest. Crook nollie flip, that should be into the 8s.
Paige coming in switch once again. Switch front 50, sticking it this time.
You can see how crouched down she is when she gets into the rail. The lower you're crouched into it means like you've really tried to
what's
get
crazy
up
though?
onto the rail.
Her front foot, her switch front foot isn't that far back. Pretty wide stance for that pop. It's hard to ollie really high with a wide stance, but
definitely got to use the nose a little more.
8.0, huge score for the switch front 50. So taking the risk and it pays off. But Paige still has work to do, but there's still tries left on the board. Aoi coming in.
Very competitive group right now.
Wow, back nose blunt.
And this is something for Aoi too. She's been workshopping this back nose blunt for a while now, and it's been very close in contest settings. Once that unlocks for her, it's going to be very big, but unfortunately, still trying to figure it out.
Yumika trying to move into first. 2.6 gets it done. All right, so we're going to have a new leader for the moment.
That's such a good kickflip.
That stuck to her feet so properly. So first skater with 4 scores on the board. What's that 4th score gonna be for Yumika? .3. So sometimes all it takes is getting that 4th score. If some other skaters never manage to make 3 of their 5 tricks. Koko Yoshizawa coming in. Needs a 4.2 to take over. That seems like a pretty risky move. The 270 shove, there's just a lot of shove and a lot of space between the end of the hubba and the landing.
Yeah, and something so as short as that blue hubba, it's not a lot of time to get comfy enough to launch the 270 shove. So you got to be real quick with it, which makes it a lot harder. Is this our first MLK gap?
Could be. She didn't use the rolling part up top. She's taking a running start. I'm not saying one beats the other. It's just interesting to see how she's approaching this.
I think that's some real street skater.
Yeah, right? The throw down.
Throw down.
Wow. That is a heavy, heavy gap. I'd like to see the dimensions, but I bet it's 6 feet tall for one. And it's a good 10 feet long.
I think judging or watching practice for both men and women, that's probably the least skated obstacle in like street league park history. There's like 3 things that went down.
Paige going for the switch flip. Definitely did go a little rocket.
Broke her. Oh, that's just the wristband. I thought it was a watch.
So Paige running out of time and tries to get into that final. We'll see. Aoi can bump into the top 3 right here with a 3.8. Looks like she's set up for the Cobra. She doesn't mess around, man.
No, it's back nose blunt too. It's a weird one when you don't get the right pop. Takes a lot of control to swivel it all the way over to the nose.
Yumika sticking that front blunt down the Cobra.
Yumika's skating the knockout round exactly how you're supposed to. It's just make sure you get into the top 3. Don't worry about trying to win. She could definitely do harder tricks than a front blunt if she wanted to, but this is like safety, just keep climbing up. You can't win the contest in the knockout round, but you can lose it.
Yeah, it's a good point. So does Koko go back to this nose slide, shove it out? We'll see. So she'll have one more try at it. And it's basically what I would say is if that happens again, it would be that's not how you skate the knockout round.
No, I think that's definitely an unnecessary hard trick to try. She can go basic on the Cobra rail and really secure her spot. But we'll see, you know. She's in the top 3 right now. It all depends on Aoi and Paige.
Chloe, 2 tries left, needs 1 more score to essentially lock in her trip to the final. Second try, kickflip down the MLK gap. And then, you know, she's got a switch flip like that too, so.
Might be better at the switch flip than the kick flip.
We might see that.
A lot of hang time.
It's heavy, 8.6, well deserved.
Great score.
So Chloe essentially guaranteeing her spot into the top 3. No surprises here. Our favorites, Chloe and Haisa, getting it done in the knockout rounds.
I skated with Chloe at Lot 11 a few days ago. Got a heel bruise. I'm trying to keep up with her.
Oh, you got the heel bruise.
I got the heel bruise.
Yeah. Re-rack start list for final attempts here in group number 2. Paige Hein will be coming in first, and the leader, Chloe Cavell, have final say here in the women's qualifiers from stop 1 of the SLS Championship Tour here from Miami, Florida. First time ever here in Miami. What a great city. And speaking of Lot 11, what a fantastic skate park. Shout out to Danny Fuenzalida and the crew for really designing a proper skate park. What a cool scene. So Paige Hein will be first in on these final single trick attempts. There's hope. She can crack into the top 3 with a 3.9 and then hope for the best. She doesn't get it done. So no Americans making it to tonight's final. It's going to be Australia, Brazil, and Japan. Which of these 3 Japanese skaters will advance?
It's an interesting one for Aoi because she just lands something to put the pressure on Coco in this no slide.
What's your prediction, though? What's she going to do?
I think she's going for it. I think Aoi has 1 speed.
Yeah, so that seals it. Our finals will be set right there. No strategy for Aoi. And as skaters, we got to love it. That's cool. Go all in. Don't skate for points. Skate to shred. But it would be cool to see her have toned it down and put some pressure on Coco on this try. But Coco's in. No slide 270. She nails it this time.
That even hit on the way out.
It's true. I mean, it just goes to show you how much is going on with that trick.
Watch this. No slide and then shove it. Board hit the ledge on the shove it around. Still found her feet. Is able to ride away.
.3, great score. Puts Coco in second. really the only thing to be determined here by Yumika's final try is start order in the finals. So she's going to stay in third place. But she'll advance to the final along with Chloe and Coco.
I mean, I know we're just talking about the knockout rounds here, but Haisa ended at a 30.3.
It's a big score. Big score for the knockout round.
30.6.
So Chloe really getting it done here. Women's final is set. Some of the guys are taking the course to start warming up for their knockout rounds. Here's a look at tonight's final. Haisa Liao. 4 Japanese skaters, Momiji, Funa, Coco, and Yumika. And then Australia's Chloe Cavell. Haisa and Chloe, respectively, winning their knockout rounds. No real surprises here. Unfortunately, Sean, your pick failing to make it through to the final, but putting on a show, going for it.
She put on a respectable performance.
Yeah. Congratulations goes to Chloe Cavell. Monsters, highest scoring trick right here. The MLK gap kickflip for the 8.6.
And the only one to skate that. So big.
And Chloe is down with Andrew.
Chloe, that was amazing right there. You look so comfortable. What have you been up to in between the last SLS stop and now?
So the last SLS stop was Super Crown, and I unfortunately broke my arm there. So I just was like resting throughout like the off season, and yeah, just trying to get it stronger, and it's like nearly 100% now. So yeah, I've just kind of been chilling, and then when I got the cast off, I started skating again and getting back into it.
Well, you look super comfortable, and we got to talk about that kickflip, okay? So that was the highest scored trick of all of the knockout round right there. You're the only one jumping off it. How is that impact?
It's like really gnarly. Like every time I like land, it like hurts my back, so I have to like squat really low. But yeah, I guess you got to do the big stuff to get the highest points. So. Yeah.
Well, you definitely did it. Best of luck to you. Excited to see you in there in the finals. Back to you guys.
Wow, so broken arm from Chloe, and then just chilling for months. You can't tell, that's for sure.
No, she looks very solid.
So we'll see her again tonight in the women's final on Rumble Premium. Guys are warming up for the knockout rounds. Giovanni Viana out there, Manny Santiago out there. Betting odds coming in, Sean. What do you think?
I think Stake has given some very good odds here. You know, Sora Shirai is favored to win at plus 450, but Nyjah Huston, the defending champ, plus 500.
Yeah.
Put $100 on Nyjah, you can win $500.
That's a good bet. What about Gustavo Ribeiro even? I mean, he's a Super Crown champ too. He's won many stops. So
he has, and then Daiki Ikeda ranked the same as Nyjah. Yeah, you know, I think you have a solid chance of winning some money with Nyjah and Gustavo.
So the women's knockout rounds are in the books. The usual suspects have advanced into tonight's final. Congratulations to Haisa and Chloe for taking their knockout rounds. We've got men's knockout rounds coming up. Stick around. Great skating all day. SLS Miami.